You had an English teacher, Mr. Bennett?
Yes, Mr. Bennett.
Mr. Bennett, you said he was Southern gentleman, maybe I used the term loosely, with a bow tie. And you have a story, I think you were about 12?
It was a penny waiting for change. And he had said to well, that's what his big thing was when he wanted to make you look stupid. He goes, "So I'm going to make you look like a penny waiting for change." You know, I don't know what that is, but a penny waiting for change. And someone was asking a question, and he had a New Jersey accent, and instead of asked, he said axed. "Hey, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?" And Mr. Bennett said, "You mean ask a question. You want to ask a question." And he made the kid feel so little. And I remember saying to him, "Hey, Mr. Bennett, can I ask you a question? Why are you such an ass?" or something like that. And then he said, "Mr. Travolta, I'm going to make you look like a penny waiting for change." And I just thought I used to defend a lot of the special needs kids in school growing up. So that's how I got into special ed, became a teacher.
So I think if I remember the story correctly, you actually, you got in trouble or something, and then your father said, "I like what you did in terms of sticking up for someone."
Yeah, he said there's a way to go about it. And, you know, that it's, you know, he says, you just, you know, you're sticking up for your friend. And I have to recall my memory on this. And then he said to me, you know, he says, "All right." He goes, "Now you know what to do next time." And then my dad said, "Can I ask you something?" And I said, "You want to go out for pizza?" It was cute.
Do you think you've always been for the, quote, underdog?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All the time.
So with Inclusion Films, is part of you teaching how to do things on set there, but also part of not allowing others to try to knock somebody down a couple pegs?
Well, I think it's the process of making a film where the education takes place, whether you're going to be a filmmaker or not. It's not really about filmmaking. It's about collaboration. It's about communication. Now, if you want to become a filmmaker, you know, we can help you do that. But it's all those soft skills that you learn through the process of making a film. And that came from the very first day I stepped on a set, as I said before. It's so important at becoming, because they're usually not included. They're not part of the process, whether it's in the play yard or being included, invited to parties or whatever. They're not usually a part of that. So filmmaking brings all that together.
And it seems like they're very aware that they're not included. Like I think I listened to one of your students at the same event where you talked about this story with your teacher, and he said people talk and they're always going to talk, something to that effect, and I've learned to kind of just deal with that. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting, and because I'm sure they know when, you know, even if it's nonverbal, someone doesn't like them or is giving them the cold shoulder. Do you work with them on that? How to keep their morale up?
Well, I think it's just building that confidence as they go along, you know. And we do have some lower functioning folks that are in the program, but they get as much out of it as the rest of the group. And one of the things that so our higher functioning groups take care of the lower functioning groups, because we want to eventually be able to do after school programs where our special needs students are going back to the high school that they went to or the school system, and they're teaching from what they learned. You know, I mean, I always do that. I mean, half my staff is special needs up in Bakersfield.